They do not. And we are live on YouTube, Cage Side Seats, and hopefully iTunes and wherever else you are listening.
Welcome to the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast, coming to you from PDX and PHX, soon to be North Carolina when T-Money's makes his run-in. Thanks again for tuning in for another week. Apologies for last week's episode not being on iTunes. I was a giant freaking doofus McGoofus and did not record my audio. I basically just Tommy and Theron. So if you were to listen to the show, you would have heard basically Tommy and Theron talking to nobody on my end. So it was really creepy, but it sounded really weird. But nonetheless, so welcome. So check it out. Last week after our episode, my nephew, Tommy's son, little Tommy, I guess he goes by Thomas.
He does. That's his on-air name. He does not want to be confused if it's his father.
Oh, that's awesome. So Thomas had wrote a bonus segment called The Flying Top 10. And if you haven't listened to it, it's really good. He's 10, right?
9 going to be 10, yeah.
9 going to be 10. So for a 9-year-old to just be able to spitball and be able to kind of roll with the punches and shoot on most of the segment was absolutely incredible. He's got a knack for radio. I mean, he wrote this segment and stuck with his guns, but when it came down to like banter time, he held it.
I respect him. He never broke kayfabe, dude. He never broke kayfabe. He believes everything is a shoot still because he's at that tender age of 9 where everything's man, it's real to him, damn it. So yeah, man, I liked it. He introduced it, and now he's assigned us homework this week because he's the unofficial fourth mic, quote unquote. So yeah, so I guess you want to jump into this segment.
Yeah, so little Thomas has been tasked with helping us produce the show, and so we're going to open up with a brand new segment called Opinion Chamber. I don't have a jingle written for it yet, but I absolutely will make one.
Nice.
So that absolutely warrants its own thing. So nonetheless, so Opinion Chamber. I mean, Tommy, explain how we enter the chamber and what we do when we're in it.
It's the greatest Bros Before Elbows segment since they're in soapbox, basically, and every host on the mic gets a hot take. So give an opinion on one of the subjects from the week, or just a subject that's been on your mind that you haven't really got to say on the show yet. So as I step into the chamber, I'm gonna call out Elias because I mean everyone loves this Elias character, the Drifter, the guy with guitar. He released an EP on iTunes, and it shot the charts. But I'm not feeling him, man. I feel like I'm missing out because everyone loves him and everyone's into him, and I haven't been able to wrap my head around digging him yet. He's cool. He makes fun of the crowd and stuff, but I can't get into him. I feel like I'm missing something. Like I don't have like a soul, and I'm like bumping into the doors when they try to open for me, and the automatic doors, and I bump into them because I don't have a soul. But yeah, I can't get my head around Elias. So that is my hot take for the week.
Ooh, all right. My hot take is I never thought I would like the B team.
And you do?
I kind of do.
Oh my god, that's a swerve, man.
I do because at first it was just the classic old just a group of jobbers, and there was enhancement per se. But actually when they won the titles, I was like, oh my gosh, could this actually be a turning point for both these guys? And I'm behind it, man. I'm for the underdog. I like the swerve. I like the unknown. I mean, I'll say it too. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but correlating it to Jinder Mahal's WWE title run, again, what I enjoyed the most about it, it was kind of unexpected. It was one of those like, the great humiliator of pro wrestling, which happens quite often. To be perfectly honest, when you think you're outsmarting the booking and you think you're outsmarting the story, no, you are not. And then you just get humiliated on your opinion. So you can't be right all the time, which is totally fine. But yeah, with the B team, I'm enjoying it. I am rather enjoying it, and I would like to see more of it.
Yeah, I think this is WWE going out on the ledge for once and trying something different and seeing if it sticks or not. And so even if it doesn't work, sometimes like we as fans appreciate them trying something new.
Yeah, I mean, WWE can take risks. They don't do it as often as they should, but they they have taken some risks, and I think there's a good payout to this one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of the B team, they're going to be on I think they're being on the pre-show for SummerSlam this week, and SummerSlam's this Sunday. We're recording this on a Thursday night, so there's 13 matches on this card. It's a lot of picks. Yeah, it's a huge card. I don't know. They got to do some squash, hopefully some squash quick matches somewhere in there. But let's get right into the picks, man, because we are known for our picks on the Bros for Elbow show. So looks like opening match is Rusev and Lana versus Andre Cien Almas and Selena Vega, like an intergender mixed tag match. So who you got in this one? You got Rusev Day or you got Almas?
You know, to be perfectly honest, I was a big fan of Almas in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be a big fan of Almas in SummerSlam.
Okay. That's a good pick. I'm torn on this, man, because I really love Almas and Vega. I love their character play, but then I've loved Rusev Day, the whole gimmick, and then the whole teasing of them breaking up the last couple weeks with Aiden English screwing up so many times over and over again, and costing Rusev and Lana separate matches. But man, I feel like if they lose again, they're gonna get the boot. Like Rusev Day is officially gonna break up. So in hopes that they don't break up, I'm gonna pick Rusev Day. That's the Rusev and Lana for the maybe an upset at this point. Okay. Next on the pre-show, we got the B team, the Raw Tag Team Champions, defending their titles versus Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, aka the Revival. Man, you just gave a hype speech about the B team, but I think my pick's going to be the Revival. I think, man, if they can't beat the B team one-on-one after the great run the Revival had at NXT and the so-so run they've had on the main roster, then, man, I don't know. I want to pack it in for the Revival if they can't beat the B team one-on-one. Because in theory, on paper, these two guys are better wrestlers than Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, so they should beat them and become champions on Sunday. So I'm going to go with the Revival. Who do you got?
Dude, I got to stick with the B team.
You really do. After your hot take, you can't go back on it.
Be such an a-hole if I did.
All right, I like that pick. All right, now getting into the main card. Here's one we might not really know the answer to is the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Champions Cedric Alexander versus challenger Drew Gulak. It's a completely different Drew Gulak because the last time I remember seeing him, he was trying to make cruiserweights great again and had PowerPoint presentations. Now he's kind of more serious, like a serious version of Gulak. I heard. I've been watching too a lot, but that's what I've heard. So, but I don't think you can want to beat Alexander because I've kept Alexander on as the champion since WrestleMania, I believe.
Since the name that will not be mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. It's that tournament. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Alexander to retain because I don't see Gulak as the one to carry 205 Live to greater heights potentially. So I think they got to build someone else to beat Alexander.
I'm gonna be opposite, dude. I'm going contrarian. I'm going Gulak.
Team Gulak. Gotcha. All right. That's actually also a pre-show match. So we got 3 pre-show matches actually. Okay, now gets the main card. Here's a feud that's a repeat from Extreme Rules. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Those two guys are still going at it. The Constable or the Finn, the leader of the Balor Club. Who do you got in this one?
Balor Club.
Balor Club?
Yeah, I mean, I like Corbin. I don't know. He just seems like he just won't be able to beat Balor.
Yeah, I think this is the first agreement with you. I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. Yeah, Balor, I just think has more potential. He's the face. It just feels like he should go over. Like Constable Corbin, he's got the gig right now. He's the Raw general manager's assistant basically, or he's the watchdog for Stephanie McMahon on Raw. So I feel like he can afford more losses than Balor can at this point. So I'm gonna go with Balor. Okay, what else we got? Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy. It's kind of a weird feud because been more like Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton with Nakamura kind of lurking in the background. So I don't know how they're gonna do this. He went first last time. I'll go first this time. Let's go with Nakamura, man. I don't feel like they've really done anything with Jeff Hardy for the last month, except he's just gotten beat up by Randy Orton. It's spectacular new infatuation. Did you see when Randy Orton stuck his finger in Jeff Hardy's gauges?
No. What did he do?
like those gauges that expand your piercing.
Yeah.
I guess like he ripped out the piercing, he stuck his finger like in between it. It was like one of the nastiest things I've ever seen. It like did not belong in the PG era whatsoever.
Ew, dude. Why would he do that?
Because he's a weirdo, man. Like this new Randy Orton is a freaking weirdo, man. I don't. It was gross, man. Then like the next week he tried like waterboard, like and wash off Jeff Hardy's face paint.
Really? What the hell is Orton doing?
He's gone off the rails, man. He has gone off the. He just came back and says like WWE Universe is not respecting him, and he's like a legend killer and a multi-time champion, blah blah blah. And then for some reason he's targeting Jeff Hardy out of like all the people to like beef with. I don't.
What the hell?
He's just done a lot of moments where he said, "Yeah, like what the hell." So I assume he's going to attack on SummerSlam. I guess I don't know. I don't know, man. But do you think Nakamura's going to win, or do you think Jeff Hardy's going to win somehow?
Oh gosh, man! Big fan of Nakamura, but I'm a big fan of Hardy. Dude, I don't. Oh gosh, dude. I just want to say, I wish Jeff Hardy would have become Brother Nero. I just wish that would have happened by now. But
it's separate brands, dude. They can't even like bump into each other.
Yeah, that's just. You know what? I'm gonna say Hardy. I'm going with Hardy.
There you go. Hardy for the upset. What else we got in this? Looks like.
Wait. Who's your pick?
I picked Nakamura. I think. Yeah, I picked Nakamura just because. I just feel like he's been champion. He does a good run at the champion. He's so good, man. He's such good as a weird heel that I kind of want to see him run with it some more. Next up, SmackDown Triple Threat Women's Championship. We got champion Carmella versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair.
Ooh.
That should be a good match. I think, man, I was gonna pick Becky Lynch if it was 1-on-1, but then they added Charlotte Flair over the last couple weeks into the match, so I think that kind of throws a monkey wrench into everything. So I'm gonna go with Carmella to retain, which just seems unfathomable. But she's had the title since the SmackDown since after WrestleMania, but I think she's going to find a way to sneak this one out too for some reason.
Wow. So it could set up a feud between Becky and Charlotte.
I think that's what they're leaning. Yeah, they're just getting more like they're very competitive, and they feel like they're just getting bumping elbows too much. So I think it's going to spoil over into their match on Sunday. What do you think?
Gosh, man, I really would like to see Becky win again.
Right? I feel like she's not had the title since they first introduced the title, basically. Like.
I'm going with Becky.
Yeah, that would have been my pick too. That's a good pick. I would be happy with that result. And then maybe Charlotte can get jealous or something, and they can turn. Maybe Charlotte Flair goes back to heel.
Ooh,
that should be good.
I can see that. I would like that actually. That would be cool.
Yeah. Staying on SmackDown, the Bludgeon Brothers are still champions, and then the New Day are the new challengers after they won a little mini tournament. They beat Sanity, and they beat Cesaro and Sheamus to get to this title shot. So, who do you got, the Bludgeon Brothers or the New Day? I'm guessing not the New Day, but what's your take on the Bludgeon Brothers?
They're just vicious and violent and over the top. I'm going with Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh, BB. All right. I'm going with New Day, man. I don't know. They don't need it. I don't think the Bludgeon Brothers need it either. They haven't really had a good feud since they became champions. They've had a decent feud with the Usos and New Day, but no, I mean, I think they had a title defense against the Good Brothers, against the Club a couple pay-per-views ago. So they've had kind of like a lifeless title reign. So maybe switch the titles, pop it back on New Day, have the Bludgeon Brothers chase it. Maybe that makes that tag division a little more interesting.
All right.
Next up, another rematch, but this got a twist on Monday. Dolph Ziggler for Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre was in Dolph Ziggler's corner, and then Dean Ambrose returned on Monday night.
Oh, that's right. He's all ripped now.
Dude, he looks like a mini Triple H, man. He's got a new short haircut too.
Wow. Dang.
Oh
God, I want to stick with my boy DZ. What do I want to do, dude? I'm gonna go. I'm going Rollins.
You're going Rollins. Man, I love McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler too, dude. I think they're got a really cool team. I would like to see them go after the tag titles, to be honest. But yeah, I think Rollins. I think Rollins gets it back here, especially with the Dean Ambrose surprise on Monday night. That I think it kind of seals it for Rollins. So I'll go Rollins too. I think him and Ziggler could have another run with the belt. Is Theron in here?
Nope, no, he's on the text thread.
Okay, I thought I heard him. I thought I heard him
asking a pretty rhetorical question. Where are you at? Well, I wonder.
He's at a shindig at his casa right now, but he's going to try to sneak up to his recording studio and record some hot picks for us. But we'll see if he wants it or not. He's got this, so he could be on the gimmick right now, as people like to say in the biz. Yeah, okay, so we got 2 picks for Rollins. Okay, next match, Braun Strowman holding his Money in the Bank briefcase versus Kevin Owens, and the winner keeps the briefcase. So, man, I don't see how Strowman loses, but I kind of want to see Kevin Owens pull the upset just to throw a super.
Whoa, you think KO is going to take it?
I kind of want him to, man. I think it's better if a heel. Like, and it feels weird having Braun Strowman as the monster, just like not cashing in already. Like, dude, you're a huge, scary dude who could beat anyone on the roster and proven you could beat anyone on the roster. You've beaten Roman Reigns before. You've went toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar. You've done all these accomplishments. You won the Greatest Royal Rumble. You won the tag belts by yourself, practically. And then it's like you're not cashing in yet. So I feel like he doesn't need it. And I think if they give it to KO and they switch the briefcase, that throws a whole new curveball into it. So I'm going to go KO in this one, even though I have no idea how he's going to have to, like, pull out Sami Zayn and El Generico to like distract Braun Strowman or something. But I don't know. Or to pull out Chris Jericho or something crazy.
It's crazy. I'm going Strowman just for the sheer fact that he's huge and crazy, and I just don't see him losing it. I mean, I just can't believe it. I just would not be able to believe it if he lost. So, stay with Strowman.
People are talking about Strowman cashing in at the end of SummerSlam or cashing in the next night on Raw. What do you think about it?
Ooh.
Think that's possible?
All depends if what's his face is still champ.
True. What's his face? Good old what's his face.
God, stupid.
How many more matches we are at? Let's go to. No, I think that match is more interesting. So let's go AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship.
Oh, so torn. I am so torn.
TNA Classic. Right on SummerSlam. That's gonna be. I hope they let him go. Have a good log match at least. Whatever they do.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And I think today on social media, the WWE made a big deal out of AJ Styles' title reign. How long it's been?
Is he gonna beat Punk's
reign? Not Punk, but I think he beat JBL is the longest reigning SmackDown champion. He passed JBL's record, so I guess it's a different. I don't even know what WWE record keeping is actually. It's definitely didn't beat Punk because Punk was over a year, and AJ's only had his since November, I think. So,
I've advocated before or I shouldn't say advocated. I have been opposed to really, really long title reigns. So here's what I'm gonna say. I want Joe to win because Joe's a badass, and Joe would just be, gosh, an incredible WWE champ. He would mix it up. He would be formidable. He would just be the package. The other reason why I say that too is because I just don't like really, really long title reigns. AJ has a ton of accolades, and for him to be the longest reigning SmackDown champ, I think that's cool. I don't think it's necessary for him to surpass Punk, for this example, or even be the longest reigning champ. I just feel like the really, really long title reigns they're getting stale.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I do advocate for mixing it up, right? Make it make the titles change hands frequently, and to make them, like to bring back that excitement. So if Joe wins, as much as I love AJ and I love AJ Styles, but I can love him as a winner and I can love him as a loser too.
Mm-hmm. So you go with Joe.
I'm going with Joe.
Yeah, man, I think I have to agree with you, man. That's what I want to see. I want to see Joe get a run of the belt, man. He's been close. He had that one-on-one match with Brock Lesnar last summer, where he came close, but never got it over. Never got over. Hasn't had a match at WrestleMania yet because he's been injured. He's missed out on some key moments. If they put him in a big spot at SummerSlam, which is like their second biggest show, I think that really shows a lot about their faith in Samoa Joe. And it'd be cool to see a heel champion back on top of a SmackDown.
Yeah.
And give AJ Styles some challenges. Let him chase it. Even if Samoa Joe holds it on until Survivor Series or holds it on for 2 months or whatever, and AJ Styles wins it back, that's fine. But I think give Joe a chance to run with it for a little bit. Take the ball and run with it.
Give
see what he can
Joe a chance.
What is that from, man? Is that from Doug?
Oh, maybe. I thought it was from The Simpsons.
Is it? Oh, man.
I don't know, dude. I thought it was Give Peace a Chance. It was a Lennon song, but then I thought some show made fun of it or something.
I'm pretty sure like Doug or some like one of those shows mocked it. Like in Rocko's Modern Life. I don't remember.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. Oh man, some kind of Fox Saturday morning cartoon or Nickelodeon. All right, Joe. 2 picks for Joe. We got 1, 2, 3 matches left. Okay, 3 matches. Let's go with the non-title one. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, which is this appear grudge match, and they played a really good video on SmackDown this Tuesday, saying how this feud's dated back since 8 years since when Daniel Bryan first got signed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I guess like when Daniel Bryan first got signed, he's part of the original NXT class, and they got assigned to pros, and like Miz was supposed to be his mentor, and Miz was a complete ass to him the whole time. And
whoa,
yeah, so like it went back to some really old footage, like from the old NXT show before it was like for the NXT we know now, just like a weekly like. Yeah, it was weird. It's cool. It's a cool video. You gotta check it out on YouTube. But it's showing this feud going back 8 years, how they both became champions. They both like closed out of WrestleMania. Miz won WrestleMania 27. He beat John Cena for the title. Then Daniel Bryan won the title at WrestleMania 30. So they both had their moments and how their careers like basically interweaved for the last like 8 years. So, but yeah, this feud's been really good, and I still don't know. I know who Fan Man Dan wants to win, but I don't know who I want to win.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're Super Fan Dan when you need him, dude. He's been like cheerleading this match for a long time. He wants to see the battle of the yes kicks.
Oh, yes kickoff, yeah. It kicks versus yes kicks.
Oh my gosh, dude! But he was saying that previous to all this, he's like, man, Miz is coming up. Miz is hot. Believe in Miz. He's popping up. He's coming up. And this was when Miz was like still, defined. He was the top mid guy, right? Because he was Intercontinental champ for a long time and kept bouncing back and forth. But he was like that, like solid mid guy, and it just didn't seem. At the time, I'm talking like a couple of years ago, or even like a year ago, or however long, that it just didn't seem possible that Miz would fight Daniel Bryan. It just didn't seem appropriate in terms of like, why would they feud, or no, it won't ever happen because Bryan's like top guy, and Miz, like, it just wouldn't do justice. Like, are you going to bury Bryan? But now it just seems like the perfect timing. And so I'm a big Daniel Bryan fan, but oh man, Miz has been growing on me, dude. I'm going Miz.
Oh man, I can see it both ways, man. That's a good pick. You kind of sold me on Miz. Just like if Daniel Bryan wins, okay, cool. He's already, like you said, he's already a top guy. He already held both belts above his head at WrestleMania 30. He's had this amazing comeback story from retirement to GM to now as an active wrestler again. Just a crazy Hollywood story. And he's had a good comeback since he came back before WrestleMania, but if he gets the Miz a win over Miz, okay, cool. Babyface gets a win over Miz. But if Miz beats Daniel Bryan, like you put like a rocket on Miz, dude. Like, and you can skyrocket him anywhere, man. He should be like his next obvious feud to be AJ Styles or something like that, and he would be the face of SmackDown. So, man, I could totally see the WWE doing that too.
So what if Miz wins and Joe wins? That does open up a feud for Miz and AJ.
That's true, man. Yeah, they could swap it, man. That would be cool. I would love to see, because that's put a lot of faith in Miz, man, to put him up against AJ Styles, who's like one of the best wrestlers in the world. I would like have to have Miz really step up his game. But then again, so is Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's a way better wrestler than Miz. Not better on the mic, not better character-wise, really, because that's where Miz really shines. But so I guess seeing how this match goes says a lot about Miz too, because like, can he hang with Bryan? Like, if Daniel Bryan like going step for step, move for move. So I think that's gonna be a real cool test for Miz, and I think I just sold myself on Miz beating Daniel Bryan.
Well, think about it. I mean, Miz, and again, this is super fan Dan. This is advocating for fan Dan. But his whole thing is like Miz's character has been like he's been like the wrestler, right? He came into this business and he's like, I want to prove that I'm the best and I want to prove that I'm better than everybody else, right? And so his whole thing is like, that's just his character, right? Yeah, he's snarky and cocky and all this stuff, but that's a wrestler, right? Like he's got so much belief in himself and he's got so much, he's got incredible mic skills. He can command the audience and the crowd. And all he's trying to do is just prove that he's the best. Like, that's his gimmick, right? Like, he's just the wrestler that's trying to make it as big as he can get it. And so for him, it would just seem so appropriate if he beat Daniel Bryan to then go on to a feud with AJ, because that's his arc. His arc is, I'm going to beat every main person. I've already beat John Cena. If I can beat Daniel Bryan, I beat Daniel Bryan. Now if I can beat AJ, like, that just proves that I am undoubtedly one of the best. Whether you love me or you hate me, I don't care. The fact is, I have come from the bottom, as this guy that everybody hated on reality TV, to now being the top guy by beating the top guys.
Yeah, it would be crazy, man. That is his arc, actually, yeah, which is crazy, from nothing to this, man, which is kind of crazy that he even got this far. So that's amazing in itself. So, man, Team Miz, Superman Dan, so he's the advocate even off air.
Oh my gosh, I'm saying 2018, 2019 is going to be the year of Miz.
Oh man, so far so good. All right, 2 matches left. Okay, this might be on Wikipedia. It's listed as the co-main event, but I don't know if they're going to put it second or they're going to put it early in the show. But Alexa Bliss putting her Raw Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey. So it's the experience of Bliss, who's not really that experienced in herself, against Ronda Rousey, who's been on this thing since for like 4 months now. And it's already her second shot at the title, which is kind of wild, dude. So what are your thoughts on Rousey, man? I don't think we ever talked about that too much last week, but what are your thoughts on Rousey, and what's your pick for the match?
Okay, my pick is Bliss because I don't want to see Rousey win. Simply because, again, I was bought in. What was sold to me per Rousey was, I don't want any special privileges. I want to prove that I can fight. I want to prove that I can be a wrestler, and I want to work my way up. I was sold on the idea that we would see Rousey fighting like Foxy or Mickey James or anybody but the champion.
Yeah.
Right? Like, cool, like, have a fight with Bailey, have a fight with Sasha, have a fight with whoever, right? Like, whoever's available, Asuka, fight whoever. Oh man, Rousey Asuka would be sick.
Yeah.
But I was sold on that. That was and maybe I totally misinterpreted that, but I'm sure a lot of our fans out there feel the same way that I do, thinking, cool, if you do go this route and you do decide, or it is to where you're fighting lower card, mid card, like you're not just handed these opportunities, then ultimate buy-in. That's cool. But instead what we get is, okay, you're in a tag match to, dip your toes into the water and get used to get used to the ring. And now all of a sudden this is like your second or third title match. And it's like, that's not what I bought into. So now I'm like kind of opposed to her persona simply because of that.
Makes sense, man. Because like, yeah, the math doesn't check out. Yeah, like if you said like you go from a mixed tag match, okay, high profile spot in WrestleMania, and then your first singles match is a title shot versus Nia Jax at Money in the Bank, and then your third singles match, excusing the match she had with Foxy on Raw a couple weeks ago, is your third singles match is another title shot against Alexa Bliss. So like 2 out of your first 3 singles matches are title shot. It doesn't make. I think, yeah, I don't know if WWE told the story right. They didn't they kind of skipped to the end. Like there's chapter 1 and they skipped to chapter like 12, and they didn't fill in like the middle for the Rousey character. I think
it's like one of those choose your own adventure books, and you just immediately like skip to the end and go, well, what path do I have to take to like fight the dragon immediately? You know what I mean? It's like, don't eat the berries. Like, okay, well, I choose not to eat the berries. So, oh, look at that. I found a portal, and now I'm fighting the dragon. Like, what the hell? Like, how do you, what? Like, it just takes away from the story. Okay, first off, I get what WWE's trying to do, right? You're trying to keep her high profile. You're trying to, squeeze all the marketing you can out of her. But at the same time, at the expense of, and WWE's terrible at this anyway, so I don't even know why I'm upset about this, but whatever. At the expense of their logic and at the expense of a story. Now it's a lost opportunity, right? What could have been, we won't ever know, because they decided not to go that route. So they just decided, here's the quick money, here's the quick cheap pop, let's just put her in these high profile matches, versus the long game of, no, let's like really build her up, right? Like let's, like, even if she squashes Foxy, even if she squashes Mickie James, like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, at least put on a match, right? Like, let me see you fight some of these other wrestlers before jumping into a high profile match, because it's a risk. Think about it, because if she does a terrible job in a title match, how does that look for WWE, right?
Actually, it looked bad on Rousey too. That could fans could point to that for the next 6 months about her, and she's got this one chance at SummerSlam in a high profile match against Alexa Bliss, who's not really known for her like ring skills as it is. Like, she's still, I mean, she's awesome character and tremendous on the mic, but like Alexa Bliss going one on one with someone is not really something fans really pay for, really, like to see her like work wrestling old and stuff. So it's not like she's going in against someone experienced like Mickie James or Alicia Fox or Natalia or something like that. So, man, it's a risky match, like you said. So I'm picking Rousey in this just because I feel like that's the way the WWE is going, and I think it's too late for them to turn back at this point. So unless there's some kind of crazy shenanigans where someone turns back or something like that, or I don't know, they already did that at Money in the Bank when Alexa Bliss ran out of the match. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I think they want Rousey to be the face of their October all women's pay-per-view Evolution. So what better way than have her with the belt, I guess.
All right, I guess. Like I said, I get it from a marketing standpoint, but from a logic and storytelling standpoint, it's just okay.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of logic, storytelling, throwing that all out the window.
Oh my God!
The main event of SummerSlam: Brock Lesnar, your Universal Champion, versus Roman Reigns. I believe this is part 4. This is the 4th attempt Roman Reigns tried to beat Brock Lesnar 1-on-1. And I don't know if they're going to pull the trigger or what they're going to do. It looks like Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are back together again because they screwed over Roman Reigns on Raw. But so I don't know. I guess you can have Brock Lesnar lose to Roman Reigns 1-on-1, which doesn't make sense because the first 3 matches he kind of dominated, especially the one at WrestleMania. He kind of dominated. Greatest Royal Rumble was kind of questionable, but kind of a throwaway match. It wasn't really good. So maybe the 4th time's a charm and they give us a good match on Sunday, but I'm not sure. What do you think about this match going into Sunday?
I really wanted to make a joke about watching something else on TV, like, I'm going for Plankton finally getting over on Krabs, but
Is Brock Lesnar Krabs and Roman Reigns Plankton?
No, I was literally just going to change the channel. And
I think a lot of people are going to do that, man. That's what people did for WrestleMania, man. Especially another long show, dude. Like, what is the WWE thinking? They're doing this on a long show where everyone's going to be worn out from the first 12 matches. And the crowd's going to totally turn on this, man. And I remember WrestleMania, people didn't like care about the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match at that point. Everyone was like, eh. And then it wasn't a good match. And
no, yeah. Again, what grinds my gears, even at that Mania match, was the whole year, every match was Lesnar hits one F5 and wins. And no one gave a crap at WrestleMania. Everyone's eating their nachos, using the bathroom, looking for red vines, like just not even in their seats. And Brock Lesnar hits the F5, and then just no one cares, like crickets, chirp, chirp, tumbleweed, tumbleweed. Roman Reigns kicks out, and there's no reaction that the crowd was like, oh my gosh, like he kicked out of the move that everybody had succumbed to, prior to this match. Roman Reigns is the only man to do that, right? But he kicked out of like 5 F5s. But the point is, everybody was checked out. So, honestly, I don't care. I really don't. Just for the sake of picks, I'm just going to say Reigns. Just get her over with. Again, to quote Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Predator, kill me. Kill me.
I thought it was from Total Recall, but yeah, you're right. This is from Predator. Pretty sure Total Recall. I don't know.
But yeah, that's I'm just going with Reigns just because I don't freaking care. The title is a joke, ploy to sell toys. It's just
isn't that sad, man? Like the biggest title in the biggest wrestling organization in the world, and just like everything's like everyone's apathetic towards it. It's like we just throw up the shrug emoji at this point. That's just like, man, like what are you doing, WWE?
Again, I've equated it to so many different things, but another analogy comes into my mind. It's like you have that one relative that always gives you, socks for Christmas or something, or it's like that gag gift. You know what I mean? What'd you get me this month or this birthday, Uncle Jerry? Oh, I hope it's not socks. It's socks again. Joke's on me. You know what I mean? It's like it's never not going to be socks. And that's just it. You just don't even, it's like, oh, cool. Like, all right, yeah, just socks again. Cool. Like, thanks for the socks. I need extra socks. Now I appreciate it now as an adult. But, I guess what I'm saying is like, it's been so played out. It's been years in the making. And the story's not even that cool anymore. It's not like, it's not like Miz and Daniel Bryan. Like that to me was like, whoa, dude, 8 years in the making? That's cool, right? Because we've had a mix up in between. Right? A story was happening in between this bigger story. But this story, as I've talked about so many times on the show, is played out. It's just, no, I don't care. I don't care. Just, I don't care if they freaking finger poke of doom. Like, it could be that low to me. Like, I just don't care anymore at all. Just that match. I'm going to say it. This match should be in the pre-show.
It should be before. It should go Cedric Alexander Gulak, and then as people are like packing in the arena and they're just like finding their seats and they're asking the usher where to go, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns come out to like a 25%.
No, this match shouldn't even be on the pre-show. It should be like a Facebook exclusive.
Facebook
Live match. Tune in at 4 a.m.
As the ring being put together, it's just a guy like carries on camera, just putting the ring together, like tightening it up, and no pyro, no announcers, just like an empty arena match.
Filmed via T-Mobile Sidekick. crappy 0.5 megapixel camera.
Remember that Game Boy camera?
Oh, perfect, dude. Filmed via Game Boy camera. Just who cares? It's gotten to this point. Who cares? Who cares who wins? Because if Lesnar wins, ooh, joke's on us. Ooh. Going to UFC, he's doing both. Ooh, that's cool. And then if Reigns wins, it's like, okay, you finally did it. You finally did it. Cool.
Ruin the character, then you put him over.
Yeah, neat. You won. Now, can you please lose it to someone? Can you please lose it to KO? Can you please lose it to Balor? Can you please lose it to freaking like Dean Ambrose or Rollins or Strowman or Asuka for that matter? Just put the freaking belt on Asuka and just call it a lifetime. That's it. Just shut the company down. That's it.
The end of the book of WWE, and Asuka won the Universal title. Period. Just close it.
That's it. We're done. No more. We've made enough money. We're good.
Just retire to Connecticut, and Triple H and Stephanie's kids just live off the millions of dollars. Yeah, man, that's fine. Pack into wrestling. Everyone find a new hobby. Oh man,
who do you have?
I had Brock, man. I just don't. I picked Roman like the last couple times, man. So it's just like it's that Nakamura logic where I picked Nakamura for like 7 straight title matches, and he lost the first 7, and then I picked Hardy, and then he beat him. So I keep picking Brock until Roman proves me wrong. I have no real logic towards it, no real anything for it. I don't have feelings for this anymore. The only thing that could intrigue me maybe is if Heyman screws Brock over and sides with Reigns.
Oh my God, yes. I was gonna say, dude, if Heyman screws over Lesnar and either Strowman and or KO comes out, whoever holds the briefcase.
Those are like the saving graces for the main event. Like
that would be that would be awesome. Like let's say Lesnar does win, whoever comes out with the briefcase takes it off of Lesnar. That'd be cool. Or if Reigns wins, okay, fine, Reigns wins, whatever. But and then immediately loses it, just like he did when Rollins took the belt from him.
Yeah.
Like that could be his story. That to me I would be more intrigued by that, because then it would be Roman just can't hold the title. Yeah, he's only allowed to have it for 2 minutes max, and that's it.
That's like his curse to carry, man. His scarlet letter.
There we go. Because again, you have 4 years of accolades, dude. You have like 3 main event WrestleManias. You have stats.
Mm-hmm.
You've been awarded stats. So if you never get the title, that's fine, because you have a bunch of cool stats anyway.
Yeah, man, he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He beat Triple H at WrestleMania. He's won the Royal Rumble. Like, yeah, he's got all these. Yeah, his back of his baseball wrestling card is full. So yeah, he doesn't need the belt, man. He just needs to like put over and make new stars, and he doesn't need to make Brock Lesnar any better than Brock Lesnar already is in this like universe. That's why it's just frustrating, man. Yeah. Oh man, I think
what are you gonna say? I'm gonna put a next to your pick, Brock/shenanigans.
Okay, man. Yeah, shenanigans. Whew, that'd be sweet. I think it needs shenanigans, man. It needs some kind of spice, some kind of like extra seasoning to this to make this bland pizza into something, man. Put a topping on it, for God's sakes. It's like cafeteria, like American cheese pizza.
Kill me. Kill me.
I wish I could name the episode "Kill Me," but I don't think YouTube or iTunes or Cage Side Seats would.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Look at his band. Oh man! All right. Well, Theron never showed up. He sent a text with profanity, and he never ran in it.
It was a teaser, dude.
It was a good teaser, man. Like halfway through the episode, he might have checked his studio, and he's just like laying next to his phone. Hopefully his roommates find him before the next episode.
Oh man, you will be missed.
A lot of cliffhangers this season on Bros of Hell. There's a lot of cliffhangers.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
All right, man. You got anything to plug? You got anything? You got any upcoming shows or anything to shout out, or anything going on, or?
Well, it's kind of late, but Superfan Dan had his 30th birthday, so happy birthday, Superfan Dan.
Yeah, all right, man.
Sometime early August.
He's a young buck, man.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
And let's see, other shout outs. I'm playing in a band called The Audio Sequence, and we're playing a show at the Hawthorne Theater in September 15th. So if you're in the Portland, Oregon area, hey, come to the show.
Nice.
Let's see what else. Yeah, listen to the show and listen to the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. Check us out on iTunes and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. And share the show with a friend. Of course, big shout out to all of our international listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being cool with the show and being patient with us through all of our shenanigans. And nonetheless, elbow drop the universe.
Elbow drop your friends, people.